Hi, I'm Nick and this is the TBT channel. Welcome to today's video. Now, today's video is a good one, I think. I hope a lot of you are going to like this one. Over the last year now, I've done several reviews on digital day, night and slash thermal units from both DNT and OneLeaf.ai. And they're great and they're wonderful, and so many of you are saying, yep, I use one, it's brilliant. Several of you have bought them, thank you for that. But a lot of you have said, yeah, but £700. I mean, the ones that I've been reviewing, I think they've all been kind of between £600 and £1,800. You know, we're talking quite a lot of money up to very quite a lot of money. And a lot of people have said, I can't afford that for a scope. Is there nothing cheaper? Now, the thing with YouTube and the thing with you lot leaving comments on YouTube is people are always looking, people are always watching out. Now, we've clicked past 15,000 subscribers now, and that means other manufacturers are actually taking notice of us, which is a bit worrying in a way, but not as worrying as you lot bloody going on Google Street View and standing outside my front gate. That was weird. And they've looked at it and they've looked at the comments, and I got contacted by a company and said, we do digital night vision. Would you be interested in showing your viewers? I said, well, yeah, of course. And I've got it here, and that's the phone. It'll be one of you lot. Hang on a second. Seriously, we love it when you ring us. It's absolutely brilliant. But yeah, Karen's dealing with you now. Whoever it is, that was you. Right, now. So a company contacted me and said, would you like to test blah blah blah, and I said yes, and they've sent one to me, and what I've got here is now here's the thing, I've heard this jingle somewhere and I suspect it's a UK advert from back when we was in the UK, but it's Goyojo, and that's all I can think of it as now, but it is a Goyojo GS something 515. Now this, let's get this out straight away. This is less than 200 quid. All right. Now all the other ones I've tested have been a lot of money. Now I've just opened this. I haven't yet had a look. I wanted to share it with you lot first. This has taken me. This has come from China. All right. Let's get the stuff out of the way first. This has been sent to me from China. I didn't get charged any fees, and when I've asked them, they said usually people don't get charged fees with it coming in, usually, and because of the value they put on the package, if you do get charged fees, it's not likely to be much. And it has taken 8 days from them saying, okay, we'll send you one, to me receiving it. So I think that's good. 8 days. It is a GS515. It's not one I was aware of before. You know, I'm not really tech savvy. It's nice that they've sent me one though, you know, don't get me wrong. And we're going to have a look inside the box. It's a nice box. You know, I like a good box. And things I'm going to be comparing this to almost directly are like 3 times the cost. 3 times plus. I'll say that now. So the box feels good. Hello, Henry. That's it. Sit in camera and scratch your bum. Dog say. So, and it has got a magnetic catch. It's a cardboard box, who needs it? You know, we're not going to be using a cardboard box, but it does feel nice buying something that arrives in a sturdy, well printed, well made and nicely opening box. Okay, and it seems it's good inside as well. I've got that. Nothing else. The box is, other than that, the box is completely empty. Let's vamoose that over there. And then we've got what I can't help thinking looks a bit like a makeup bag here. Not that I've got a makeup bag, you understand. But we've got a little carry case. A little carry case with a handle on it, look. Isn't that nice? And inside we have the unit itself. I'll have a look at that in a second. Possibly foam, but shaped to fit it case. Yeah, we'll look at what's in the rest of that in a minute. I can't get this out. Sorry, I'm quite excited. I do like new things. I like shiny. And here we are, here's the unit. Now, from what I gather, I've done a little bit of research on this, but not an awful lot. Again, I don't like things arriving with me and me already thinking, oh, it's going to be this, oh, it's going to be that, oh, it's going to be the other. But when I look at this, I can't help but compare it to other things, but I have to keep remembering that. Now, the price, here we go. The price on this, on their website, is $249. That is US dollars, 249. Now, when they said about sending it to me, I did say, okay, but will there be a discount code for my viewers? And they said yes, 15%, and they were going to give me a link. Now, hopefully, when you go into the description below, there'll be a link with a 15% discount off of that price. I haven't got it yet, but to be fair to them, this has just come through the door. I haven't even sent the email to say it's arrived yet. I'm doing this first because, like I say, I want to take it out of the box, and when I email them, I'm going to give them my initial impression anyway. So I had to do this first. And with a 15% discount off of $249, that takes it to $212. And I did check before starting on this, if that is true and you get a 15% discount at today's exchange rate, that makes this day and night infrared digital scope £155. 155 of your English pounds. So say the exchange rate's up and down, 160 quid on the outside. In it though, bargain. So let's have a look. Let's have a look. First of all, I'm going to tell you, it feels, well, it is aluminium. It feels nice, it feels sturdy. The turny bits turn with enough resistance, but not too much, so it's going to be easy to do. Now, I've got a lens cover here, it's just come off. Okay. The lens cover isn't attached by anything. You know, on some scopes, they kind of flip open like that. This one doesn't, it comes off. It doesn't have a hole in it to fix it with a lanyard. If I'm honest, I would probably put a small hole through there and use some of that lanyard string, you know, the really thin but strong stuff, and attach it so I didn't lose that. We've got the rear focus there. We've got a range of buttons there. Got an infrared torch there that seems to be focusable, which is nice, because on other ones I've tested, they're not. That might just be a loose bit. I don't know. We'll check that. We will be looking through this shortly. So I've got power button in the center and then 4 directional arrow buttons there. That's the battery compartment. Let's see if it's got any batteries in it first of all. No, it hasn't. Hopefully they're in the box. Otherwise I'll have to go searching around for some batteries. I've got a little rubber bit here. Oh, I've got an SD card in that. Let's just pop him out and have a look. Pop him out and have a look. Now, tweezers would be easier at this point. I'm going to pop the SD card back in there. I expect I'll be able to go into the settings and look at the available storage to see what size that is. But there is an SD card included. And that's a USB-C for downloading, I'm guessing, and or charging. It's got a mount built in. Weaver rail, Picatinny, 22mm. It says, picture of padlock, #1 press. #2, an arrow pull. Oh, that's clever. Oh, that's nice. So that goes there. So that locks. Press that one, unlocks it, and fully opens. An adjustable knob there. So it's got a mount. It's got a lens cover that isn't attached. I'm going to put that there, otherwise I am going to lose it. Let's see what we've got in the accessories there and see if we've got, first of all, the instructions, and secondly, the batteries. Well, there you go, straight away, there's the batteries. They're small, but there's 2 of them. Okay, let's have a look what we got here. PK cell, 3.7 volt, 18350s. So these are 18350, which I've learned since doing the other ones, means it's 18mm in diameter and what, 35 mil long? Is that 35 mil long? 900 milliamp hour, and there's 2 of them. So that means if it's working in, is it series or parallel? That'll be 1800 milliamps. Anyway, there's the batteries that go into there. Let's find the instructions. There's no plus or minus written on there. Let's look at the instructions and see which way round they go. I have got, ooh, what's this? It's good, this. It's like Christmas all over again, several times. I'm thinking, yeah, there's all kinds of Allen bolts underneath there. I'm thinking I can take that mount off of there, bolt that onto there, and then have an extended rail to move it further back. I was thinking, because, you know, on some rifles that's up there, and ideally with the digital scope you want it quite close. So that's an extender for that. We will be having a look at that before we put it on a gun and seeing how that works. What's in here? A USB block. That's some kind of foreign plug, but who hasn't got a bunch of those hanging around clogging the place? Get a shot of that. I've got some spare Allen bolts, an Allen key and a screwdriver in a little bag. I've got a cleaning cloth. I've got a USB to USB lead. Hey, there we go. I have got an squeaker, the squeaky eyepiece, which goes, which way round does this go? There, there, right, so that one comes off and you can replace it with that one. There you go. So that's, they tend to work better at night. They stop any external ambient light coming in and spoiling your picture. So I'm going to take that off, put that one back on there for now. Have I got instructions? Let's hope that I do. Digital night vision user's manual. Right, now look, here's the thing. That's bereft, nothing left in there. Here's the thing, those buttons have just got arrows on. There's not a single symbol or word to give me a clue what any of this does. So what I'm going to do now off camera, because you don't need to see me do this, what I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to figure out which way the batteries go in. I'm going to put them in, I'm going to pop it on charge, fit that rail on. I think I might fit that rail on. I might do that on camera just to show you what that is, but I think I understand how that works. It's mechanical, I'm quite good with that kind of thing. And then I'm going to read the instructions, find out what the main bullet points are to tell you of what it does, what it doesn't do, and what it can do. And then we're going to start looking at stuff far away to see what that does. So Goyojo GS515. I'm going to read the instructions. Yeah, I'm back again. I've been reading through the instructions here. Actually, quite easy. There are only 4 buttons, but it's a simple case of long press or short press, different buttons to take you through to different menus. The highlights I can see so far are the information we have on the screen. I've got it charging at the moment off of a block. The information we have on the screen are my direction in degrees, so that changes to say whether I'm facing north or south or whatever. My inclination, up or down, which is useful. It's saying IR off. I've got different reticles available if I press one button, different colours if I press a different one, and then I can press another one entirely and it takes me to pictures of deer, boar, something else, and rabbits. Now, this doesn't have LRF, it hasn't got a laser rangefinder on it. It's £155. But it does have a BDC, so you can, I believe, program it so that you can, if you know what the distance is and you tell it you've got a 50, it's set up for a 50-yard zero, and then it gives you a little, you say how far away your deer is and it gives you a BDC. I'm going to go ahead and assume that because it Yeah, and that's because it thinks if you're shooting deer, you'll be using this caliber. If you're shooting boar, it'll be a different caliber. So I don't think it's really relevant to us airgun shooters, but it is a feature that's there. So I've got different reticles, which I can show you in a minute, different colors, which I can show you in a minute. And I believe it has a one-shot zero, the same as other ones I've tested where you fire a shot and then you go into the zeroing menu and it will freeze the frame where you are. So you fire a shot at the bullseye and then you take it into the zeroing part, put the crosshairs on the bullseye, freeze the frame, and then you can simply move the crosshairs to the point of impact. And that should theoretically mean that it's done. So what I'm going to do now is, it's horrible outside. Now, we've been having power cuts. The power went off 8 o'clock last night and didn't come on until about nearly midday today, and it's been on and off all afternoon. So it's blowing a hoolie and absolutely throwing it down in a biblical way outside. But we are going to go outside now and do a little bit of quick peeking around during the daytime. And that's what I'm going to do now. Then later on tonight, I hope to do some infrared, but we'll go and do the daytime first, come back and see what we think of that. Nah, it ain't happening. I've been out there. It's absolutely vile. I don't even know if the audio would have worked. It was that windy. So, given how horrible it is out there, it may well be that I record the nighttime bit first, if this wind dies down this evening, and do the daylight bit tomorrow. It'll all become evident, but we will return. They say a picture paints 1,000 words. Look at the state of that out there. Absolutely bogging. While waiting for Storm Philippe Falop out there to get out the way, I decided to start editing this. Now, I've only just realised, for whatever reason, the microphone wasn't working properly. And I do apologise for that. I was left with two choices, or a dilemma, if you prefer. I could have gone back and recorded it again with the microwave working properly and pretending to notice things for the first time, or I could leave it as it was, which was me taking it out the box and discovering stuff. I decided at the end of the day, keeping it honest about my opinions is more important than whether the microphone was working or not. But anyway, I shall endeavour to make sure the microphone works for the next segment. This is the next day. The rain stopped, the winds dropped, but it's still murky dismal. The first thing I did notice when uploading this is the sound quality is rubbish, worse than on the DNT. I'm going to let Goyojo know, but I'm having to dub over this. So there is the house that we know is a mile away. I always start off with this one because it's a good thing to look at that is in the distance. And I'm going to have to try and remember what I pointed it at next. Got to remember the price point of this. Now, I think I was saying about, I'm not sure what you can see on the TV screen, but through the little viewer at the back, the picture is actually really good. And looking at my screen on the phone now as I'm looking at this, that is kind of what it's like. That was on 5x zoom. I've just turned that up to 10x zoom. And I believe next I will turn it up to 15x zoom. Any minute now. I'm waffling on about something inconsequential, almost certainly. There we are, there's 15x zoom. And 20. Now you can see the lack of pixels when you get up to 20x zoom, but it's a mile away. You can still see plenty of detail there. I'll fiddle in with the focus, let's see if it got any better. You can see plenty of detail, you can see the crossbars in the window. You can see the tree, and then we're coming closer. Oh yeah, the little Villebois sign. I looked at that the other day. I was astounded with the 4K tube scope I was checking that I could read that sign. It's the first time I've been able to. No surprises, I can't with this one. But that doesn't mean, I mean, the image, look at it. I mean, that is really, honestly and truthfully, 155 quid. That is a good image. I've got a feeling that during this video I'm also going through all the different options on the reticles and the colours and things like that. But it would appear that the video that's recorded doesn't have the reticles on it. Now, what I was also talking about there, looking at those houses, is I know they were 600 meters away, but this doesn't have a laser rangefinder or ballistic programming in it, so it's not going to work the shot out for you. But this is why I think it's more suited to most normal airgun hunters. That we're looking at there, that bird bath there, that's 35 meters away. You know, using it during the day, you're going to be able to see your target quite easily, even in dismal conditions like today. It's all you really need for a hunting scope. And on a sub 12 air rifle, it's just going to be, oh, that was a pigeon flying across there. It's just going to be kind of the same as using a standard scope where it doesn't work everything out for you. You're going to have to use the marks on the reticles, which is going to be difficult for me because I've got so used to using the laser rangefinder thing. But there we go. And that's, again, it's just something I know the distance. That's 22 meters away. So I'm really just pointing it at things that I know are a set distance, so you can see, you know, you can see the detail of the grass there, so you'll easily be able to see the detail of any rats, pigeons, rabbits or things like that. What am I going to point it at next? I don't know. Maybe something, maybe nothing. Maybe I'm talking about, maybe I've just let loose the secrets of the universe and have forgotten I did it, and we've missed that. They're gone forever now. So that's the image during the day. A murky day. I've got to say, through the viewfinder, it looked really good, and I was a bit worried about what it was going to look like on the screen, because quite often it will look better through the viewfinder than it does on the screen with other scopes I've used. What you're seeing on the screen is pretty comparable to what you're getting inside of here. Perfectly usable. A mile away you can see stuff in great detail. Up close in the garden, out to 70 yards, around about 35-40 yards there, you need no more than that really. So the downside I found so far is the microphone. As you saw on that one, I had to dub over that one afterwards, by which time I'd forgotten what it was. Yeah, I'd forgotten what I was talking about. The microphone did record, but you could only just hear it. It was like I was 3 rooms away, maybe in a bucket of water. So not great. I'm going to ask Goyojo about that. But to be honest, the audio recording on the feed through this, it only matters to Wallies like me making these videos. You don't give a monkeys about that. It's you're not going to be recording your own voices while you're out shooting rabbits and rats and stuff, are you? So it's immaterial. So now we're going to go over to night out the front last night, because the weather was still minging, and we're going to have a look, see what it looks through. It looks like in the dark. And here we are last night. That was Henry's bed that's blown away. It was still really windy. So I went round the front of the house because it was more sheltered, and I just wanted to have a look and see what the IR was like. So we are looking at, again, I'm dubbing over this the previous day, so I forget what it was I was talking about. But over in the corner there, we started off with the archery target that I've got, which was at 45 metres. That's my backstop, which has blown over in the wind, for my 42 metre range. So you can see at 42 metres, that's pretty damn clear. For air rifle hunting at night, I really can't see how... Sorry, I've just noticed that. In the previous one, the daytime one, you'll have heard me saying you can't see the reticles. I can see the reticle on the IR one on the recording. Now, obviously, during the daytime one, I could see all the reticles perfectly, but it didn't come out on the recording. But that one is, that's interesting. I don't know why. But yeah, that's my... over to the far corner. Oh, I'm changing things, look. So that's the night vision mode. That's without any IR. That's just using, I believe, that's just using the ambient light. That's IR1, IR2, and that'll be IR3. Through the scope, you can see more of a difference between them than you could on the screen here. I do remember that. And that's zooming in at 45 meters. it's pitch black out there. With this, it is no longer pitch black. If you want to hunt at night and you're on a limited budget, this will do it. So let's have a look around. What am I looking for here? Oh, I'm going over to the field over the way. Now, those trees at the base are 120 metres away, which means at the top they're going to be 130 metres. And then I'll start looking to see if I can see the base of the tree, which I can't. But then, oh look, I do find it. There you go. There's the baseline. That's the opposite side of the field behind the telegraph wires. That's 120 metres away, probably to 170 at that end. Still using just the infrared torch. And you would be able to see aminals out there, certainly at 120 metres, quite easily, I believe. We will be doing shooting videos with this in the future, and we'll see more about that. But this is just a first look. And as first impressions, and I have since range found the tops of those trees over there. They are 132 metres away, and if there had been a pigeon in the top of that tree at 132 metres, you would have clearly seen it with the infrared torch on this unit. The infrared torch, by the way, in another one, which I don't know how I managed to lose that one, but in one of them I was playing with the focus of the infrared torch. It goes spot wide, spot wide. All I did was set it so that it reached the edges of the screen, and that's really all you need it for. So that's all you need it to do. So in conclusion, a day and night digital scope with built-in infrared, I'll have you know, for £155 if you use the link below. For most airgun hunters, this is going to be enough. I understand when you're using rimfire, when you're using centerfire, you're going to be stretching out the range. So you need, I mean, you can put an infrared torch on the top of there should you want to. But realistically, for an airgun hunter, for £155, well, that's a Hawk scope, isn't it? For a Hawk, the price of a Hawk scope, you can go day and night digital. And that is great. Downsides, what do we call it? The audio on the recording, and to be honest, the Wi-Fi could be easier to use. The menu system is a bit clunky because it doesn't have pictures. I respond well to pictures. It's only got arrows, so I have to remember which arrow does what. I've been using this for maybe an hour and a half in total. It's still on 3 bars out of 3 on the battery, and I'm kind of getting the hang of it. Somebody cleverer than me would get the hang of it quicker, and to be honest with you, once you've set the reticle you want in the colour you want, the only button you need is that one there to flip it between day and night mode, and that one there to change the zoom. So that's it. £155, is it worth it? Yes. Just yes. Next time we're going to put it on a gun and we're going to start shooting it. But please like, subscribe, hit notifications. Thank you for watching this. Well, I hope you found it interesting. The guys out there that have been watching the digital reviews I've done on the expensive stuff, saying, oh, it's great, but I can't afford one of those. Tell me what you think about that. Tell me how that makes you feel. Does it make you feel, oh yeah, but I want it with all the bells and whistles and the LRF and all that stuff, or 155 quid? It's a bit of a bargain. I can't help it. I double checked that price several times because I couldn't believe it. Anyway, enough. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.